I was being a really big nerd the other day and drilling down into my sales data, and I saw something that surprised me. Also, kind of didn't surprise me. So, I've seen each month my audiobook sales going up, but I hadn't really looked over my entire lifetime of sales. So, when I saw this number, it blew my mind. And I knew I had to come here and tell you today, like without a doubt, if you are not self publishing your audiobooks on Findaway Voices, you are leaving a ridiculous amount of money on the table. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Mary Kate M.K. Williams. I'm an author and I love sharing all my insights about books and publishing with you. Before I get into the details of today's topic, don't forget to hit subscribe. You'll be notified every week as I put out videos about publishing, making a career out of being an author, and now being a mompreneur. So I have been self-publishing since 2015. I signed with an agent in 2023. My first traditionally published translation came out earlier this year, Janice, which is the translation for heifer. Um, and I still make a lot of videos about self-publishing on this channel because I've been doing it for so long and I still have self-published books out. Like regardless of what happens with my traditional publishing path, like I will still have to maintain and market my self-published books forever. And so I've done a lot of videos about audiobooks as well. So I get a lot of questions about them. And so one of the things that I noticed when I was going through the data is this cut for my audiobook sales. And so I do track all of my sales by format and vendor. Now we're going to ignore 2017 and 2018 because in 2017 I sold like a handful of audiobooks because one was available for purchase at the very end of 2017, but it wasn't advertised till the very beginning of 2018. So obviously the growth between 2017 and 2018 looks astronomical, like 1600% growth. Like that's crazy. So really we're going to look at 2019 onward, right? So I put one book out under my name in Q4 of 2019. Okay. So I had a lot of new titles that I added in fiction and nonfiction in 2020 and 2021. That's when I launched the Author Your Ambition brand. That's when I had sequels to existing books come out. And then in 2022, my progress slowed because I had a baby and mom life. So I think overall my sales kind of reflected that, like a lot of growth in 2020, a lot of growth in 2021, flat flat in 2022, which is fine. Flat is consistent. Flat is I made the same amount as last year. I'm okay with that. But I had not been adding new titles since early 2023. And I certainly didn't add any new audiobooks since 2022. So that is what I want you to take in when you're looking at this data. So when I was projecting to see a repeat of 2022, right? Like no growth in all my sales, right? Like there's no new titles coming out and no new titles with an audiobook. Um, Nothing new. Like staying static because I was focused on querying, focused on getting getting a deal, all those things. So to see that I had such large growth in 2023 and then even more in 2024, especially for audiobook sales, that definitely like something is going on here, right? Like there's no new titles that I'm self-publishing or adding. Why are the sales suddenly going up again? I'd like to believe it's because I'm super duper famous author, but I'm not. So what was it? And the big difference was Spotify. So in 2022, Spotify acquired Findaway Voices, and we as authors got to experience the benefit of that, as in our audiobooks for sale on Spotify, starting in 2023 and obviously into 2024. As a new platform for sales, I saw good growth in 2023. At the time, audiobooks still had to be purchased. So, but once Spotify premium members could listen to my audiobooks as part of their monthly membership, that is the reason for this huge surge in my audiobook sales in 2024. So, if you have the rights to self-publish your audiobook, either you got a traditional deal, but audio rights were never sold, or you've always been self-publishing, like you need to have your audiobook on Findaway Voices. I still get a solid audiobook sales from ACX or Audiobook Creation Exchange that's owned by Amazon. So I still get good sales on Amazon and Audible. So I'm not saying to only be with Findaway Voices. Although authors in certain countries, they can only get to Audible through Findaway Voices. Um, but don't miss like this opportunity because of that exclusivity contract with ACX. Like I know it's easy to get excited because like you are making a higher percent when you're exclusive with Amazon and Audiobook Creation Exchange, but you're missing all that Spotify platform audiobook sales when you're there because you can only get to Spotify through Findaway Voices. So I definitely was so excited to see this number and to have like data to bring you guys to say like, especially because I didn't have anything new, right? Like we could easily attribute audiobook sales growth to like, well, I was putting out like a new audiobook every quarter. And that's why we saw that big growth in 2020 and 2021. And then it was flat in 2022. But like I had audiobook sales growth with no new titles because of Spotify and the option to have my audiobooks there through Findaway Voices. Like that was the only difference. So I want you to really consider getting out of your exclusive contracts or not even getting into one to begin with and checking out Findaway Voices for your audiobooks. Okay. I spoke my piece. If you want to know more about self-publishing wide or self-publishing outside of the Amazon ecosystem, I have a book on that, Going Wide. I sold out of all my autograph copies stock, so that's why I'm just going to put it right here. But you can definitely check that out to learn how to do that. If you have more questions on self-publishing audiobooks or self-publishing with Findaway Voices, please drop those in the comments below. That does fuel my ideas for the next videos. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and maybe hit that shiny new thanks button. That tells YouTube you got value from this information, and then they can get it in front of other authors like us. Now you can get back to writing your book.